When Judas had gone away, Jesus said, "Now has the Son of Man been glorified, and in him God has been glorified. If God has been glorified in him, God will in turn glorify him in himself, and glorify him very soon. My little children, I shall not be with you much longer. I give you a new commandment, love one another, just as I have loved you. You also must love one another. By this love you have for one another, everyone will know that you are my disciples." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
So, how many democracy sausages did you take yesterday? No democracy sausages for the two? Okay. I've always thought that if you vote, you get a democracy sausage for free. That does not work here, I was told. You have to pay for it. Probably the organizers were Catholics. You know, I was monitoring your politics, and one of the things that caught my attention was the cat fight between the Liberals and the Labours. The Labours were criticizing the Liberals for changing the Prime Minister faster than I can comb my hair. You keep on changing your Prime Ministers from the debacle between Turnbull and Dutton, then you have ScoMo, and then even before that you have Abbott and Turnbull. But I was reading a little part of your history, and I realized that that cat fight is not just limited to the Liberals. The Labours had their own share of cat fights too, between Gillard and Rudd. And then even during the time of the one who died, Bob Hawke and Paul Keating, they were the best of mates, the earlier part. Then in the early 90s, they had a cat fight too. But the cat fights are not just between and among your national leaders. The cat fights can also happen in our community. And I can imagine it can also happen in your own homes. And I was thinking, if these cat fights happen everywhere, does Christ's invitation to love one another still make sense? I was at a school, in a school that I will name, because you only have two options, so I won't name it. I was there, I was walking, and suddenly a year 4 student wrapped her arms around my waist. And my typical reaction, when I was in the Philippines, if someone does that to me, I'll tap the child on her head or make her sit on my lap. But in this case, I have to raise my hand, make sure that I'm not touching her, and she's the only one touching me. So, and then I was actually telling her, okay, go to class, go to your classroom. And then, remember, she left, and there was this young kid, another year 4 student. She stared at me and told me, I never liked her. Can you imagine even year 4 students have that animosity and hate among each other? Question is, does loving one another still make sense for us? If we have this on the national level, and if we experience that on our personal level, does it still make sense? The gospel that I've read, if you've noticed, the first statement was, now Judas left. Judas was about to betray Jesus. This was the Last Supper account, part of the Last Supper account. And if you read further, another betrayal will happen, and it will be Peter. who will betray Jesus. And do you remember that portion in the gospel wherein the apostles were bickering on who is the best apostle among them, on who's supposed to sit at the left or the right? Some of the gospel writers wrote it when Jesus was preaching. But if you check the Lucan account, it actually happened during the Last Supper. So imagine this. Jesus was aware that he will be betrayed by Judas and Peter, and then you have bickerings in front of you. If that was the case for yourself, what would you do? Imagine yourself and your family. You have, let's say, 12 kids. Does it still work here? 12 kids at one time? No more? Oh, just imagine that you have 12 kids. I think that will be easy for you. So you have 2 kids who will be betraying you, and then the other kids are fighting over on who is the best for them. How will you manage that? Will you draw out your Crocodile Dundee knife and tell them, shut up? Or will you do what Jesus did? Jesus told them, love one another. But what does it mean to love? I offer you 3 things about love. I'm not really excited with love because I don't know the feeling. Being celibate doesn't allow me to have other relationships. But I think, I just realized the reason why I'm celibate is that I should be free for everyone. I was talking to the kids the other day and they were telling me, so you're married to God. I'm not married to God. I'm just focusing myself on God and freeing myself to serve others. I think that's the reason why I'm celibate. But going back, 3 things for love. First, letter U, USF, so that it will be easy for us to understand. And remember, USF, the first letter U, understand. We all carry our own stories. We have our own processes that is going through inside of us. We are going through our different journeys. We have our own battles that we carry inside of us. And we don't usually show it to others. I'm battling something, I'm battling somewhere. Most of the time we just quiet ourselves and keep it to ourselves, which is usually the case. The invitation for us to understand others is for us also to realize that they are going through something. And the least thing that we can do for them is to understand whatever situation they are in. In the words of Pope Francis, who am I to judge? Understand. Second, selflessness. Letter S, selflessness. Sometimes when you demand love, sometimes we demand others to love us back. Selflessness is not asking to be loved back, but continuing on loving others even though they don't love you back. Because it's easy to love someone who loves you back. It's easy to scratch somebody else's back if that person will scratch your back. The invitation for us is to be selfless. Love even though it will hurt. Because loving is not about getting something. Loving is a commitment. And it demands that we give ourselves to others. Selflessness. And lastly, forgive. F for forgiveness. Jesus in today's gospel knows that he will be betrayed by Judas and by Peter. After the resurrection, what was his response when he saw Peter? Peace be with you. How do you respond to people who betrayed you? Do you tell them, peace be with you? Or something that sounds like peace? Our invitation is to love and to forgive. For us Christians, we will be known that we are Christ's followers because we have shown love towards each other.